I love vintage Nikon lenses. So I reviewed plenty of them on my channel, and honestly, I think they offer some of the best value in the lens world. They're sharp, they've got beautiful rendering, and they adapt easily to almost any camera. And overall, they are just some of my favorite lenses to shoot with, no matter the system. So in today's video, I'm going to go through what I think are 5 of the best vintage Nikon lenses that you can buy right now. All the lenses on this list are easy to find, they're not crazy expensive, and I'll also be giving you guys some tips on what to look for when you're shopping for these old gems. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to see more great photography content. So when I say vintage Nikon lenses, what I'm talking about is anything with an aperture ring. So pre-G series lenses. So that includes AI, AIS, and AFD lenses. And just to be clear, this list is based on my own experience. So if you've got a few favorites that I didn't mention, let me know in the comments below, but definitely be sure to keep things respectful as we all have different opinions. So starting off the list at number 5 is the 180mm f2.8 AFD. Now, this lens is compact, it's razor sharp, and on Nikon DSLRs, the autofocus is actually excellent. But even on modern mirrorless bodies where the autofocus unfortunately won't work, that is until we get a good working AFD to Z adapter, it is still a joy to use. And that is because AFD lenses have manual aperture rings and buttery smooth focus throws. So no matter the system that you adapt it to, they will work great. Now, I picked mine up on eBay for about $200 shipped from Japan, and I have loved it ever since. So it's small, it's sharp, and when you want telephoto reach and depth of field without carrying a massive 70 to 200, this lens is perfect. Now, there are 2 versions of this lens available, and I would highly recommend you get the later crinkle coat surface version. The earlier ones had a smooth plastic finish, but those have been known to have autofocus motors that can fail. The price difference between them isn't that big, and price-wise, you're looking at around $200 to $300 depending on the condition. Next up for number 4 is a lens that I've only recently picked up, but I've totally fallen in love with. And it might seem like an odd choice, but hear me out. The 16mm f2.8 AFD fisheye. Yes, it's a fisheye, but unlike many ultra-wide fisheyes that are just way too disordered to use every day, this one is surprisingly versatile. You can actually walk around and shoot with it, and everything comes out with this unbelievably cool like skater film aesthetic. And unlike cheap third-party fisheyes, this thing is sharp. It's bright at f2.8, and as a bonus, it even has autofocus, which works awesome on older DSLRs. And I love using it at nightclubs with my Nikon D3. It is such an old school setup, but the results always look amazing, and because it's an old DSLR, you can use the IR assist beam on a flash, so you get like autofocus is faster than modern mirrorless cameras in low light. This is probably one of the priciest lenses on this list. You could expect to pay between $350 to $400 for a good copy. And there is an AIS version of this lens as well. They seem to cost around about the same. From what I can see online, it looks like they have very similar optics as well. So personally, I just went for the AFD version because I wanted the flexibility of having the autofocus when used on an older DSLR. Now, if you want the best chance of getting a good deal on this or any of the other lenses that I mentioned on this list, you should definitely check out today's video sponsor, Buyee. Buyee is an online middleman service that lets you buy directly from Japanese auction sites. See, a lot of the lenses that you see listed on eBay from Japan are marked up for a Western audience. So by going straight to the source, you can save quite a lot of money. Now, I've used Buyee in the past, back in 2016 when I bought this Leica M2, and I got this thing for an amount that seems almost criminal to what they're worth today. The process to use Buyee is actually super simple. So let me show you how it works. We open up the website, and then all we have to do is we search for the keyword. Now, the great thing is even though we're searching Japanese auction sites, we can search just fine in English. Now, I find that sometimes typing in Nikon instead of Nikon will give you better results. So we'll just type Nikon f2.8. Then we go search. And as you can see straight away, we've got a whole bunch of options here. So now it's up to you just to go through and pick which one you like. As you can see, the hammer up here indicates that it's an auction. Now, the good thing about these, I feel like a lot of these auctions typically speaking, they don't get a lot of bids. So you can actually get some really good deals if you just keep an eye out. So let's have a look and see. I think there's this one here is 364. We open up our listing, and then here we've got item conditions. And then down here as well, this is automatically translated. Everything is translated when you use the service. And then the things you want to look for is just make sure that it doesn't say any mold or fungus, because you really don't want fungus on your lens, because it will actually spread to other lenses in your collection. So if it's okay if it's in slightly bad condition, but definitely avoid anything that has fungus on it. We could place a bid for $364, or if we're impatient, we can buy it out right now for $375. So once you win the auction or you get it for the buyout price, what will happen is the seller will send this lens to the Buyee warehouse in Japan. Buyee will take some photos of it, send them to you, and then if you're happy with it, what they'll do is they'll just forward that onto you. And I'll have a link in the description where you can sign up for Buyee, and also a 10% off purchase price coupon for all new signups as well. Be sure to check it out to get a great deal on this lens or any of the other ones that I've talked about on this list today. Once again, I want to say thank you to Buyee for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to the list. Now, at number 3 is the legendary 55mm f2.8 AIS Micro Nikkor. So you know the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Well, this lens is so good that Nikon has basically never stopped selling it. It's been in production for almost 45 years, and you can still buy them brand new today. It's tack sharp, versatile, and it is also a bloody good macro lens. And lots of people consider this to be one of the sharpest lenses Nikon has ever produced. I personally love using this as the ultimate 50mm-ish lens, and I would actually take this over any of the other manual focus 50s available for Nikon. One thing to look out for with this lens is the focus ring. They can get pretty stiff over time, and mine definitely needs a CLA, even though when I bought it, it was advertised as having a CLA. So people online will say that they need to be stiff because it's a macro lens, so you have that really long focus throw, but it definitely should not be this stiff. So when you're buying used, if you have an opportunity to see video of just how smooth the focus itself is, definitely do so, and most Japanese sellers will be more than happy to send you a video. But overall, this is an amazing lens, and because Nikon made so many, it's still really easy to find and not that expensive. In fact, that honestly goes for pretty much every lens on this list. Nikon had a tendency to pretty much produce all of these lenses for very, very long periods of time, and many of them are still produced even today. And as such, it's great because it means that there is plenty of options to choose from, and they're not going to dry out just because of one video or someone talking really nicely about one lens. You should be able to find a good copy of the 55 2.8 for around $100 to $150 US. Now, coming in at number 2 is a lens that could very easily tie for first place, and this was a challenging one for me to do because I do love both of these lenses very equally, but just given it's the focal length itself, I'm going to have to put it second, and that is the Nikon 105mm f2.5 AI. Now, this was the first proper vintage Nikon lens that I ever bought, and I've used it on Fuji, Nikon, and Lumix cameras, and you have most likely seen one particular photo taken with this lens. This is the iconic Afghan girl photo by Steve McCurry taken in 1984. And it was shot on a Nikon FM2 with a 105mm f2.5 AIS and Kodachrome 64 film. And while Kodachrome is long gone, this lens is still very much available and affordable. And also, while the AIS version, like the one that Steve used, is double the price of this AI version, probably because it was the actual one used for the Afghan girl photo, optically, they're actually identical, with the only differences being metering quirks on older film cameras, a shorter focus throw, and a flimsy built-in hood on the AIS version. Now, the AI version also features rounded aperture blades, so I would say that the bokeh should even be a little bit nicer, but again, in comparisons between them, they look pretty much the same. So my advice is to just buy whichever one is cheapest. This lens is so sharp, it's small, it's full of character, and it is one of my all-time favorite portrait lenses. I use it for both photo and video, and I absolutely love it. And you can expect to pay just $150 to $200 US for a good copy, and there are plenty of these around. They are not hard to find at all. And finally, my number 1 favorite vintage Nikon lens. Can we get a drum roll, please? The 28mm f2.8 AIS. Now, this is easily the best 28mm lens I think I've ever used. Honestly, it might be one of the finest 28mm lenses ever made. It's small, it's sharp, and the image quality is simply sublime. It has a silky smooth focus throw, a perfectly clicky aperture ring, and this thing is built like a tank. This is a lens that will last you a lifetime. And the best part is that it's cheap. So you can pick these up in mint condition for under $250 all day, every day. Now, make sure you do get the AIS version. Unlike the 105 2.5, the AI and the later AFD versions are actually optical downgrades, and the AIS is really the one that you want to get. And the only Nikon 28mm lens that I think is better than this is the 28mm f1.4G, but that is huge, heavy, and far more expensive, coming in at nearly, I think, almost 4 times the price. So yes, like while the aperture of 2.8 is a little bit small, I would have loved it if it was an f2. Honestly, given the small size of this lens and just how compact it makes every camera that you put it on, I'm totally fine with the compromise. Honestly, you throw this lens on a D700 and you have got one of the best walk around combos that Nikon has ever made. I really can't speak highly enough of this lens. I think it works beautifully on high resolution digital sensors. I think it works amazing on older CCD sensors, and I think you cannot go wrong with this lens. Okay, and now I just want to cover a few honorable mentions because there's so many of these old lenses and they're all really good. So I couldn't really condense it down to just 5. So if you want a really good autofocus prime, the 24mm f2.8 AFD is cheap, sharp, and very good. And it's also a perfect little walk around lens on an old DSLR that can autofocus with it. And then if 24mm is a little bit too wide for you, then go for the 35mm f2 AFD. Both lenses are optically excellent, and I honestly can't really notice much of a difference between them. I think they're both really good. So just pick whichever focal range is better for you. And yeah, I have a real soft spot for these tiny AFD primes. Another absolutely awesome one that has absolutely no business being as good as it is the 50mm 1.8 AFD. Now, this lens is practically free with how cheap and plentiful they are, yet the results that come out of it are sensational, and the autofocus performance is actually pretty good. It is definitely made very cheaply. It feels extremely plasticky. It is not a well-built lens by any stretch of the imagination, but the results that come out of it, I mean, you can't argue with them. They look bloody awesome. So that's my list of the 5 best vintage Nikon lenses, in my opinion, of course. Which ones are your favorites? Did I miss any that you think should be on here? Let me know in the comments because I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week and have a great day.